Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company of Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have a 1v1 on Moscow Outskirts. Our heroes today are going to be none other than VindicareX, once again, playing for the Soviet faction, and we have Siberian, playing for the Germans. So, Moscow Outskirts, well, we played that a couple times. It's a nice map, I really like it. It's quite open, and, has a lot of trajectories. In any case, well, off the bat, we see conscripts for Vindicare and Grenadiers, tier 1 being built for the German. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Very good players, Vindicare and Siberian, so we should expect to see a high level of play this time around. So, well, let's see what they end up doing. We got Grenadiers hitting the field. We see the Pioneers for Siberian going to the north. We see the Engineers for Vindicare going for the south. So, essentially similar pathways. The conscripts do go for the north, so they potentially will be encountering these pioneers eventually. And the Grenadiers go for the south, so yeah, they might hit each other's workers eventually. So, right now in the beginning, we're going to see capping, nothing out of the ordinary. It's going to be a little while before we see any type of engagement. Second conscript squad hitting the field for Vindicare, and also second Grenadier squad hitting the field for Siberian. So very parallel builds, I guess you could say. There's not exactly mirrors in the Company of Heroes, since you can't have, Germans versus Germans or Soviets versus Soviets. And even though in most other RTSs you can have that, I don't think it would fit Company of Heroes 2. I like that these sides are not mirrored. They are very similar in some situations, some units. But, it's that back and forth balance that, well, we all like. We wouldn't be watching this game if we didn't like it. So, we do see the first engagement up in the north. Conscripts passing by Pioneers, taking a couple shots at them, on the way, but the conscripts decide to oorah and go get himself that fuel point. He doesn't want Siberian to have that for long, so he decides to do that, smartly bolting over that fence to get himself in light cover. Very good. Nice. We see conscripts in the middle taking some shots at those Grenadiers, and we have the Engineers garrisoning this house, getting engaged by Grenadiers. They're also going to get engaged from behind from those Grenadiers, or most likely these Grenadiers are just going to get that fuel. He sees that Vindicare is getting his fuel up in the north, so he wants to deny Vindicare from the fuel in the south. You definitely don't want to give your opponent that fuel advantage, because otherwise you're just going to get rolled over. And we do see Vindicare moving all his infantry to stop that decap, get that fuel point as long as possible. And interestingly, well, we do see Molotovs being used. That's good, very good. And one Grenadier having to retreat. But I was going to mention, interestingly, we do see this decap up here on the north of this strategic point, making so that Vindicare can't actually capture and have that fuel point, giving him resources. We do see the Engineers having to retreat. Grenadiers are down to 3 men, down to 5 on the conscripts. I think these conscripts are going to win. But, well, we'll see how they fare. Another Molotov going in. He's going to have to retreat. And there he goes. Down to 1 man, but he should probably make it. He has had a decent amount of health for 1 unit. But Vindicare manages to keep that fuel point, get that income going for his favor. And he has so far denied Siberian of this fuel point up in the north. Grenadiers going into the point, preventing the full cap, but he doesn't have it in his possession, so that is still a victory for Vindicare, because he is denying at least Siberian from this resource. In the middle, we do see another engagement, although they had to retreat. They are very low in health, and he knew that he wouldn't be able to win against those full health Grenadiers. So that is a very good choice there. Another conscript squad moving up north to engage these Grenadiers. He wants to get that cap on the fuel point, although he didn't cap this this point. I'm not sure if that was on purpose, but well, he's gonna be able to get the cap, but he's not gonna get that income flowing. This point does manage to connect it, but he didn't actually cap it, so that is, I guess, unfortunate, but still a victory for him because he is denying Siberian of that fuel. Engagement down in the south. Conscripts in heavy cover against Grenadiers pretty much in the open. They do move in for a close range assault, getting heavy cover, but he's going to get Molotov. Molotov goes in, but doesn't really do much because they moved out of the way. And now it's point blank. Heavy cover is directional, so nobody's, even though they're in heavy cover, they're not actually getting any bonus from it. Down to 1 man, down to 2 men, but he does have that MG, which is going to give him the edge. And he doesn't retreat, so he's actually going to be able to get that decap over here. Although he does have this squad coming up, so he could potentially just retreat it and, you know, get it reinforced. Over in the middle, we do see another grenade. Molotov going into the house, engaging those pioneers. Probably going to have to retreat the pioneers because they are down to 3 men, and they're not going to win against conscripts. Still taking some shots. He hits the retreat. 3 men get out, and they're going to make it out fine, so good for him. So far we see a 5th conscript squad being built. No? Okay. Yes? No? I don't know what happened. Wait. Yeah. Okay. So we do see 5 conscript squad in the field for Vindicare, and likewise we see 4 grenadier squads, 4 Siberian, and a machine gun hitting the field. That machine gun is... let's see where he is. Up in the north? No? It is firing somewhere, but I can't find it for some reason. Oh, here it is. I am blind. Okay, so we do see this machine gun working to deny Vindicare this time from his fuel. He doesn't want him capping it back, and he doesn't have the northern fuel, so the roles are a little bit reversed now. But either way, we do see that as far as income, we still have a little bit more fuel income for Vindicare against Siberian. 2 conscript squad low on health, engaging this grenadier squad. Molotov's going in. Conscript squad under 2 men has to retreat. This one is down to 4, and these grenadiers should actually beat it. They are gonna continue to get the cap. They're gonna hold their ground, and Vindicare decides to retreat. He's not gonna win this fight, and well, no sense in losing more manpower. Conscripts all over the place. Wow, a 6th conscript squad is being built for Vindicare, so he's, I guess you could call it spam now. He is already upgraded the medics, so he's going to be able to keep those infantry in the field longer upon the retreat, obviously, because they're going to be topped up in health. As far as Siberian, we do see that a Opal Blitz was requisitioned, and we do see that Vindicare made his choice, which is giving him radio interception, which means that he's actually going to be able to know what Siberian is making. So that's going to give him a heads up as to what is coming onto the field, and I believe it also tells you if mines were built. So that's interesting. So we see engagements all over the place, engagements over here. These conscripts decide to, well, these engineers decide to jump into the house to delay. These conscripts are probably going to be sent over there to try to engage these grenadiers. Conscripts on the flank, they're actually going to get behind this machine gun. Very good, very good. And we see an engagement over on the north with conscripts and grenadiers. Grenade going in. Ow! Down to 2 men. He needs to retreat that right away or he's going to lose it. He is focused on this side on the flank though. Gets that Ura, gets behind that, and gets the retreat. But I think he's going to lose this squad down to 1 man. Yeah, he's going to lose this squad. He hasn't actually noticed. And there it goes. Killed. So 1 squad lost. Unfortunate, but, well, he did manage to get the retreat on this machine gun, which is still going up, meaning he's going to get that fuel back, although he moved out of the way for some reason. I don't know. Sorry guys, had to sneeze. Okay, so we do see, though, conscript squad and engineers on the left-hand side getting caps. We do see another conscript squad going for this grenadier squad that is very low in health. Probably going to lob a Molotov in there, try to get him out of there. And these engineers are very low in health. There's a grenadier squad with a machine gun going against them. They're going to jump quickly into that house to stay alive for a little bit longer. Over here at the north, we do see 3 conscript squads being sent in. They're going to do a good push, get themselves all up in there. These grenadier squads are very low in health, so they are going to be losing. Getting one out of there right away. Second one out of there right away. And there's only 1 left with 1 man, so he has to be very careful with this guy. He is no longer receiving cover. He retreats. He is going to make it out of there. He should be fine. That man alone had a lot of health, so he should be good. We do see no tech being produced for Siberians just yet. So very heavy investment in Tier 0 and Tier 1. There has been no buildings built for Vindicare, so that is very interesting. He's getting yet another conscript squad, which is a lot. So, I mean, that's going to give him a lot of capping power. There's 4 grenadiers and a machine gun for Siberian, and there's 7? Wow. 7 conscript squads on the field. That's impressive. I could say I wouldn't have the balls to do that because, you know, one vehicle on the field could pretty much do it for you, but he does have the radio interception, which means that he knows when things are going to happen. So, that might work. It's interesting. Definitely an interesting tactic. So machine gun sets up to try to catch these conscripts in the open. He does catch them, but they were uraing to that house. But they don't manage to make it and are going to get pinned. He might leave him there and get this one moving, although he is not. Let's see what he does over here. Over here on the victory point, we do see a two-man conscript squad rushing in to try to get that cap. They are pioneers chasing them. They're not that strong, but it is down to two men and very low health, so it is very possible that they might lose. Over here, we see the machine gun getting the retreat on that squad, so victory over there. And these guys decided to retreat because the SMGs on the pioneers should be more than enough to kill them down on two men. So over here, we see a conscript squad jumping into the house to engage these grenadiers. And jumping out to start chasing them. He doesn't want to let them get out of there. So infantry all over the place. It's kind of hard to keep track of this considering there's 7 conscript squads. So sorry if I missed something, guys, but we do see right across the middle a attempt to cap and cut off the entire north, I guess. We do see this point being taken. We do see this point being neutralized, and the fuel is also being taken by the MG42. We do see 2 conscripts, actually 1 conscript and an engineer. No, yeah, another conscript squad over here. So they're chasing this grenadier squad. He wants to get him off the map. There's 2 grenadier squads set up, one with an MG42 upgrade. And they are chasing them all the way into this house. They're throwing a Molotov. There it goes, getting prepped. Grenadiers jump out of the house, denying that mortar, but the other mortar goes in, has to move. And the conscript squad down to 2 men has to retreat. This one is full strength, but it is 2 grenadier squads. He needs more support than that. These engineers could move into position to start providing at least some more additional fire. But this guy's gonna lose it. He's gonna lose the squad. Yeah, he's not gonna make it. I can guarantee he's not gonna make it. Is he? Is he? Oh my god, that is one lucky conscript. I could have sworn he was gonna die. Look at that. He's down to no health. Very lucky squad right there. Over here we see another conscript squad retreating with 1 man, but that one doesn't make it now and gets shot on the retreat. He would actually, Siberian would actually need to cut this one off. Actually, no, he still has the workaround. Okay, so even though he's getting a lot of points, that's not cutting off the rest of the map. We do see a Opel Blitz having to retreat because a conscript squad was running on top of them. We do have 18-8s for the conscript squad, so it would have been able to take it out if he thrown an 8. Might not be worth it considering the munitions, but well, he does have 158 munitions right now, so it, you know, shouldn't be much of a problem. But anyways, and oh wow, that's 3 grenadier squads going up against 1 combat engineer. They need to get out of there right away, which they do. Down to 2 men. They should be able to make it. There's a lot of health on them. Conscript squad setting up in heavy cover to be able to fend off those 3 squads of grenadiers. 2 more squads of conscripts following up to provide more fire. They are probably going to run up and throw a Molotov, denying that heavy cover. And yeah, there they go, moving up, getting that squad rushed in, getting up, and he's actually managed to make him just retreat. Gets into the heavy cover, starts chasing. 3 squads coming up, all on top of those grenadiers. This is, wow, this is a clusterfuck, you could say, of infantry. That is 4 conscript squads, 2 grenadiers, all mingled together, shooting at each other. Another squad over here, but not doing that much. And these 2 squads decide to get out of there because, well, wow, look at all those grenadiers. You can call this a blob. I know he's not purposely blobbing, but that is a blob. Look at that. That is so much infantry. Doesn't matter if you have an MG42. You can't shoot at all of them at the same time. You are going to die. This one's down to 1 man. He's going to get the retreat, and still 2 guys manage to get right on top of them, which is going to deny that heavy cover effectively. And these guys are going to go down ridiculously fast. They are losing themselves. They're getting focused fire. This squad is not taking any shots at. Down to 3 men and 1 conscript. Down to 2 men and 1 grenadier. It looks like the grenadiers might actually win this one. That squad is very low in health. Down to 1 man. Manages to get out of there. This squad down to 2 decides to retreat. Molotov goes into the car. These guys are all getting roasted. There's 1 down to 2 guys. He's not retreating. He's getting in front of them, getting shot. Down to 1 man. He needs to get out of there. And he moves and decides to get out of there, so he manages to get out. No losses there pretty much for anybody, but very good movement. We do see mines going into the field, and that is a very good option because, I mean, I guess normally at this point you would expect some type of vehicles or armor. It's 15 minutes into the game, and we see another MG42 being built for Siberian, and not much else for Vindicare. He is up there in the manpower. Not sure what he's going to do with it. And the fuel is, well, way up there because he hasn't actually done anything. Look, it's tier 0. Well, that's a lot of conscripts, and that's very interesting. But again, I think the only reason it works is because you have the radio intercept, which means you know what's hitting the field, so you're not going to get caught with your pants down. Conscript squad up in the north holding in this shack, taking some shots at Grenadiers and MG42. But we do see another Grenadier squad capturing that fuel point, which means he is going to get cut off, essentially. But, well, nobody's bothering them, so they're having a nice time in that house. There is more than sufficient infantry on the field to compensate for having one squad doing nothing, I suppose. 7 squads of conscripts, I mean, 7 squads. This is definitely something I'm going to try. I am definitely going to try this. Probably after I finish this cast, I'm going to jump and try this out. I really like my conscripts. And I wonder how, well, obviously you don't have Hit the Dirt, but since Hit the Dirt got essentially nerfed last time, it, you know, doesn't hurt that much. Anyways, in the middle we do see a Grenadier being engaged by 2 conscript squads. They Ura to get right on top of them, which is going to provide a lot more damage. They start moving up and getting out of the way, but they are outnumbered in this situation. Even though these are engineers, they are, you know, more men. Engagement by the fuel point. Conscript squad getting pinned by that machine gun. They're going to have to get out of there because there's no additional support. We see a conscript squad retreating from the north. Got engaged over here at this fuel point. Didn't go so well for them. 2 conscript squad going to engage a machine gun and a Grenadier squad. This machine gun is focusing on this squad over here in this point and is getting flanked, getting Molotov. Has to get out of there. A lot of damage goes in. A lot of Molotovs. He's going to chase that machine gun, manages to get himself out of the range, but no, actually he decides to retreat. I guess he didn't want to risk it. Oh, I know why. Strafing run went in. That was gonna suppress his infantry to get a lot of, well, not a lot of damage anymore in it, but still getting suppressed on top of an MG and some Grenadier squads would have been a lot of damage. Conscripts on the house holding these Grenadiers while these other guys rush up behind them and start shooting them in the face. And this squad needs to get out of there. They're gonna lose that fight, so it's not a good idea to stay there, but, well, he is focused in doing a lot of other stuff. It is very hard to keep track of everything considering the, not surprising, the astonishing amount of infantry on the field for Vindicare. Anyways, we do see yet another Opal being called in. Remember, Opals did get a nerf. They no longer double territories, so it's not doubling this munitions income, it's just adding a little bit of munitions and fuel. But I mean, still, I mean, can't really say it's not unworth it, but they did cost 300 manpower now, so that's something to keep in mind. We do see a bunker going down in the middle for Siberian. It gets Molotov, which I'm not sure it does any damage to it, but I guess it prevents the building of it. Engineers and conscripts engaging 2 squads of Grenadiers. They are going to lose that one because these guys are already Vet 2. And at Vet 2, I believe you get... no, that's increased armor. So, well, not increased damage, but, you know, they're going to stay there a lot longer, which means, you know, you're going to lose. These combat engineers are still in that position, taking some shots at that bunker, but they are, well, essentially fine. And now we do see a Panzer IV hitting the field for Siberian. But, well, what do you know? A column of T-34s has been summoned by Vindicare. I'm sad that I missed the timing to see if he called it in because he saw the radio intercept or just because he had the, you know, the resources. He is very low on his resources now. So either way, I mean, it got in there just in time. These 2 guys can easily take down the Panzer IV, and since he's getting the retreat on these Grenadiers, he's not even going to be able to get Panzerfaust on any of them. This T-34 is down to half health. It's, you know, even though it's 2 of them, 1 on its own, you know, pretty even with a Panzer IV. You do need those 2 to be able to get that edge. But Since those two hit the field, this Panzer IV is essentially, you know, countered. Directly countered, essentially. So, anyways, we see a machine gun getting a pin on a conscript squad. This Panzer IV still taking some shots. This guy is down to half health, but he doesn't really need to heal it up that quickly. MG42 getting some shots on, down to one man. I think he's going to lose that squad. He is retreating now. Conscript squad gets in the house, takes some shots, but the T-34s say, no, we got this, and they blow up that MG42. Probably going to capture that MG42 because he has so much infantry on the field, which, you know, somebody's up there. You know, these guys are right there, those guys are right there. That MG42 is his. I highly doubt he's going to leave it on the field. And we see all on the left-hand side, you know, conscripts, and we see another MG42 that actually got taken out over here. I missed that, but well, Vindicare now has 2 MG42s. So yeah, that's actually gonna hurt Siberian so much that I don't know what he can do about it. Oh my god, conscript squad down to one man. Running the gauntlet, he manages to get out of there with very low health. This MG42 is not going to reinforce. He is going to go ahead and jump it into this house probably to cover that flank. Panzer IV is still taking some shots at infantry. Vet 3 Grenadier squad manages to get itself out of there in the middle. They do get a Panzerfaust off on the damaged tank, which is very low in health, but there's still this other one that can fend off that Panzer IV. Panzer IV might be able to get the kill on it, but it shouldn't get that cocky. And I mean, although I'm saying that he shouldn't get that cocky, he has, for the meantime, not taking any damage on that Panzer IV and managing to get some damage on both the tanks. One tank almost down, one down, about 10% of its health. Impressive. He is Uraing his conscripts up in there. He probably wants to get an 18-8 on it. He doesn't manage to get that. They get a little bit stunned and delayed. So the conscripts are going to go ahead and engage the infantry. The higher in health tank goes and moves into support. He's going to keep those infantry at bay with his own infantry, which should be fine. In the meantime, we do see another engagement in the left-hand side. Pioneers against conscripts. Conscripts are going to win that one. And, yeah, that's it. So, same engagements. Another Panzer IV being produced for Siberian, hitting the field almost now. And that is going to be able to, in a sense, counter those T-34s. 2-on-2, I believe the Panzer IV should probably win it. 1 versus 2, I mean the 2 win, because you can most of the times just go ahead and get a ram and use the other one to kill, if you are desperate to get that kill. Conscript still chasing that Panzer IV, trying to get that 18-8 off. Panzer IV is being microed quite effectively, getting in reverse, using that R movement, and is going to manage to get out of there. Even if he gets an 18-8 at this point, he's already in his base, which means that it's not going to be worth it. He needs to get those conscripts back. They're getting shot at by the MG emplacement. And now they're going to get, almost getting squished, but he does hit the retreat. The two T-34s move up to try to engage, but he has noticed that they are 2 Panzer IVs, so he wisely decides to move back. Very good by Vindicare. He is not going to go ahead and risk getting those tanks killed. He does have the option of calling in an ISU, but that is until he has 300 fuel, which he doesn't at the moment. But that is something he's probably keeping in mind. I know I would. So the Panzer IVs are making a decent push to the map. They are staying together, making sure that they don't separate themselves and, you know, get picked off individually. Wow, 1 shot, 2 shot. Okay, 1 shot takes 3 of those Grenadiers, another shot finishes them off. The 2 Panzer IVs are going for the T-34s. They want to get those kills. They want to get that armor off the field so they can have that armor advantage. Conscripts taking shots at that Opal, getting taken down to 2 men. He needs to retreat that squad. He does get the retreat. 1 shot from the T-34 does finally hit one of the Panzer IVs and get some damage in there. Another shot takes us down to half health. 2 against 2. Let's see who wins this. They are retreating. These guys are making the push. He decides to go for the ram. Gets the ram on one of the guys. Immobilized. Main gun destroyed. That is a very lucky roll on the damage. Second ram goes in. And another immobilized. Wow. Okay, I don't know if that got changed, but immobilizations are supposed to be very rare on T-34s, and he gets 2 for 2. That is impressive. So we do see the machine gunners shooting each other here. They're not going to do much. They are taking shots at this conscript squad, but he does need to get some other type of armor on the field, which he decides to do so by calling in another T-34 call-in. He had the fuel for that, so he decides to get that instead of, you know, waiting for an ISU. perfectly fine, no problem there. So he's going to be able to make quick work out of these guys. He does get... No, that's nothing. And there is nothing on the field that Siberian can do to prevent this. So he's going to go ahead and get the kill on these T-34s. And he's bringing his engineers up to start getting those repairs and try to get more of those T-34s still enabled. Engine destroyed, which already was immobilized. One more shot should do it. There he goes. And now he's going to work on the other one. That is a very good victory by Vindicare. Impressive. So, while these tanks get destroyed, there's nothing else to see. Siberian decides to throw in the towel. He didn't have anything to respond to those T-34s at that time. The two Panzers by themselves against the two other ones were the only thing he had. And even though he has three, Vet 3 Grenadier squads, which are very effective, they can hold their own and get pretty much anything done at the time. He doesn't have anything to answer for those tanks. At least at Panzer IV, when it was one Panzer IV, it could essentially hold the two T-34s at bay, so can't blame him for throwing in the towel. But that was a very impressive play by Vindicare. I am gonna have to steal that for a little while and test out getting 7 conscript squads, 7 conscript squads, guys, and more impressively, no tech. Just relying directly on your commander. I mean, normally I guess you would say you don't want to rely on your commander. You want to have a tactic that can be flexible. But there are very strong tactics that revolve around commanders. And this one, having the radio intercept, allows you to anticipate anything, essentially. So yeah. I mean, it would be interesting to see how he would react and what tech he would get if, fast... vehicle hit the field. I mean, the amount of infantry that you have, you can essentially just bum rush light vehicles, like half tracks and scout cars. But the Panzer IV is, is something that would pretty much be left unchecked. And if you're waiting for the T-34, I believe the T-34 costs you, not in resources, but in command points, it costs you 4 or 5, which means it's going to be a while before you can actually call them in. And then on top of that, you have to save 260 fuel, which, I mean, considering you don't build anything, I guess that's not that much to wait for, but, it's something else you have to keep in mind. You have to make sure that you have that fuel captured, because otherwise, even if you do get those victory points, you're not going to have enough fuel, and, you're going to lose. But yeah, it's a very interesting play, very original. I like it. Thumbs up to Vindicare. And, well, if you guys liked it, let me know. If you have any positive or negative remarks, leave them in the comment below. If you have any replays you want to send them, go ahead and send them to the email in the description below. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. I hope you have yourself a great day, and thanks for watching. So, see you later.